Now we want to return the users instead of hello here. To do that, we need to set up the database because the user will be connected to the user table. Go to the database migrations, and we already have two migrations here. Create users table and create failed jobs table. We won't use failed jobs table, so for the moment I will just remove it. So let's go to create users table. We have the users table here with a bunch of columns. Let's make some changes. First, I will duplicate this column here and name it first name and last name. Second, I will remove this field here and the remember token. So this will be the users table. First name, last name, email and password. Now let's run the migration. To run the migration, we have to run php artisan migrate. As we can see, we have an error because we cannot connect to the database. The reason is because when I run the command, Laravel is trying to connect to my local database, but we want to connect to the Docker database. To run the command, we need to go inside the Docker container. To see all the running containers, now run docker ps. So the container that we want right now is this admin API here. Let's copy the name and run docker exec -it, the name of the container, and sh. Now I am inside the container. Let's run php artisan migrate here. The migration ran successfully. Now let's connect to the database, open the database tab here and add a new data source, MySQL. So the host will be localhost and the port will be 33066. The user is admin, it's root, and the password is root. The database is admin. Test connection. The connection is successful. Type awk, and on the schemas we have a users table. Now let's populate this table. To do that, we have to create a seeder. Let's create it. php artisan make seeder user seeder. The seeder will be added in the seeds folder, and here we need to run a factory. Factories are located in the factories folder, and we already have a default user factory. Now we made changes here, so let's duplicate this and write first name here, last name, we remove this and let's remove this. So we will create users with random first name, last name and emails, and the password that is password. Now in the user seeder write factory user class. This will map directly to the user factory here. We want to create 20 users and arrow create in the end. So this is the command to run the user factory and to create 20 users. And in the database seeder, we will uncomment this line. This will call the user seeder. Now to run the seeder, type php artisan db seed. So the seeder runs successfully, and now let's go to the users table and we have 20 users now. Let's go to the user controller and here replace hello with user all. Let's go to the API also and replace this hello with users. Open Postman and replace this hello with users here. We can see that now that we are returning all the users.